This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
Subscribe now. Leave comments down below and tell us what's the
And
best
leave us
game
a
from
like or
2001. This is Monday number 2 from our 25 years favorite game each year, 1996-2020. And Will, what is your favorite game from the year 2001? I think it's pretty obvious, but we'll see.
Yeah, so 2001. Let me paint a picture. Christmas. I'm unwrapping my presents. All three of them. And what do my wandering... Actually, I didn't get Halo for Christmas, so that was a terrible story. But I did get the Xbox. And my brothers ended up renting Halo like 2 months later. And, I'm seeing them play this game. I was like, this looks pretty cool. I've played 007 and Duke Nukem. Those are the only two first-person shooters I've played before. So I'm looking at this game, like, man, this looks way better, first of all. And you're shooting aliens. I love space. This is cool. So eventually when, my brother's a lot older than me, so eventually they let me, like, play the game and play by myself. And I loved it. It was just the ambiance of the game. So, obviously the first level you're playing indoors, you're playing the ship. So it's sort of similar to 007 where you're always essentially like in a corridor, and it looks a lot nicer, but it's not too groundbreaking at that point. But man, when you get out of that drop pod for the first time and you see Halo and you hear the music playing, I still get goosebumps from that scene. It was unbelievable. And I know that people would kind of rag on the storytelling now because it's pretty simplistic and it's very by the numbers, but at the time it was mind-blowing. Like, I felt so invested in the characters, I felt so invested in the story, it felt so grand in scope but still personal. The environment was just magnificent, and the gunplay was so much fun. They really hit that 30 seconds of fun that they always talk about in their Vidocs. The story behind the multiplayer being put in like 3 weeks or something before the launch of the game is a fascinating story, because again, what is Halo without multiplayer?
Right?
It's so much fun. And yeah, and I really like this first one probably the most out of all of them, just because of how unique each gun is and how like each gun has its own role in the sandbox. So not like all of the Covenant weapons are very different from the human weapons, and they all play their own role. And it's not like the Covenant version of a human weapon. So like an example of that is the plasma pistol, which is like you can take out people's shields, you can cause a vehicle to shut down, and you can also stun, I think, with it, which is very unique. So like it was a weapon that you could use as like a tactical weapon. And I don't know. So like all of the gunplay was very different in this game. It was like there is like a lot of planning ahead, and each weapon, like, you don't necessarily like feel bad picking up a weapon when you run out of bullets. Whereas like some of the later ones, you're like, I have to pick up this weapon when I'm out of bullets. Like in Halo 2, the pistol sucks. So when you only have that pistol, you just really want to look for another gun. But all the weapons in the first one are great. And oh man, the introduction of Flood, that honestly terrified me. I had no idea that was going to happen. So when you're first like undoing that door, you're unlocking it, and you have that like the playback, and you see the Flood coming down, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I'm in the same room as all these Marines just died in. And then they come out. It's like, it was very scary for me. I actually had to have my brother beat it for me for the first time because it was too scary. Which is funny to think about when going back to it, but yeah, it was great.
I'll never forget the Warthog run on this game. It's one of the
so
greatest
many great
endings
things
to a game ever.
I want every Halo game to always have a Warthog run. I don't care if it's already happened. It's just so much fun. And then just going back to the character of this game, when you go over the jumps with a Marine and your Warthog, they go like, Yahoo! It's just like no other game does that. It's just so great.
And I, to this day, cannot beat the first level of Halo if I kill Captain Keyes. It's impossible. I've tried many times.
I don't think it allows you to do that.
No, it doesn't. But I've tried. I've tried it a bunch of different ways. Like if you leave a grenade, go get a grenade, come back, leave a grenade, try and run through. You still can't do it. Mm-hmm. Not possible. So, Captain Keyes, you'll be safe forever, because the Marines will come and slaughter me
until you turn into a grave mine.
And since Will picked Halo and I can't, even though I would pick Halo, I'm picking a game that also is up there in my nostalgia, and that's Paper Mario. This is a game I actually just recently bought on the Wii and beat it on the Wii. And then when I got rid of my Wii and I forgot to transfer it over, because, you know, licenses and Nintendo and all that, I bought it on the Wii U again because it was only like $7.99. And I was like, whatever, this is worth it.
That's a good deal.
And I've played through it again. This is one of those games that I enjoy playing every few years. It's just fun, simple
bought
RPG.
Halo again. It's like the fifth version of it I bought. So.
Which would you buy Halo? What was different about it?
So I have my original copy, and then I don't know, Chris, this is embarrassing. So I have the original, I have the Game of the Year edition, I have the Platinum Hits edition, I obviously have the Anniversary edition, and then I have the Master Chief Collection.
Why don't you have PC?
Because I honestly, if I see that edition, I will buy it. Like if there's I don't know if they made that physical, but if there's a physical version of it, I will buy it.
Halo CE and Halo 2 both had physical versions.
If I see them, I'm buying them.
The Halo, they're both big box PC games too, by the way, and I think there's a couple variations. But as far as this goes, Paper Mario, timeless, simple, fun RPG with tons of hilarious scenarios that would never work if they weren't paper thin characters.
Yep.
And there are so many memorable characters like the Koopa Bros, and you know, it's iconic. And I wish that Nintendo had valued this franchise more and continued on with the RPG aspect of it instead of going their weird sticker star sidestep of the RPG genre. Because I know that Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga and all that exists, but this is better in my opinion, and I wish they'd go back to Paper Mario games, but they probably won't. So in the meantime, we have this and Thousand Year Door, and both are really, really, really fun games. So if you haven't played any of the original Paper Mario games, I highly recommend this one. And then if you really enjoy this one, figure out how to play Thousand Year Door somehow without paying $80 to $100 for the game. So as always, please tell us below what your favorite game from 2001 was. Was it Halo? Was it Paper Mario?
Tell me how I am right.
Was it something else? As always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And we will see you in
next. Well, I don't know what you were.
2002.
2002. That's the next year we will see you in.
Five Guys.